So, welcome along, guys. I do hope you can hear my dulcet tones crossing the oceans and the mountains of the world, really. So, welcome along. Hi there, Glenn. First in, Glenn. I do appreciate you arriving so early. I heard the knocking on the door, so I thought I would let you in, and you're more than welcome. So, I'm trying out my kit as normal. Not as normal, but trying out my kit and see what happens. So any feedback, guys, is more than useful. So welcome along, Craig, and hope you're well there. And of course, lovely Jennifer from St. Evernage. You've been a busy lady this week, Jenny, and I'm really pleased you could drop by and join in the fun. So Maurice, hello there. Shirley, hi. And you've made it finally, the actual timing, Shirley. We're waiting for you. We've been waiting for you for about 4 months. So, but it was worth the wait. I'm glad you're here now. Hi there, Nicole and Sarah from London. I hope London's doing well. And the streets are paved with something. I'm not sure what. Silver, is it? Platinum? I don't know. One of those things. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you here. Azure from Paris, welcome along, and Robin from St. Augustine, Florida. Welcome, guys. And Jim. Hi there, Jim from Saratoga. I hope I pronounced that correctly. In Florida as well. You could almost have shared a screen, you guys. And I like the name, this one. Welcome along, Pipe Smoker Cowboy Chris. Brilliant. What a name. I need a longer name than Andy or Andrew. I think I'll look into it. So welcome, guys. Hi there, Yvonne. I'm from Whittick. Now, I think we've touched on this before, but whereabouts in the world is Whittick? Is that Australia? Is that the peninsula of Japan or South America? Or is it, Yvonne, about 6 miles from where I'm sitting at the moment? Pop round, I've got the kettle on. So welcome along, guys. Hi, Govern. Vicky, hi. So you're all welcome, guys, and let me proceed. So as I say, I hope the microphone's doing good this week, and I've tried to adjust my little screen as well. So just keep me informed as to what's happening, and I'll do my very best to get everything going. Right, this week, let's get started. Now look at this, okay? That is called a selection of pencils. Absolutely, Yvonne. Hi there, Vicky, as well. Oh, you're more than welcome for the Beatles. Great guys, great guys. So what are these called? Yes, propelling pencils, PPs, propelling pencils. But it just shows you can get quite a variety there. 2mm, 1mm, 0.7. The bigger your picture, the bigger the lead, yeah? So get yourself a little range. They're only a few pounds each, but just something simple like that will help you in the initial stages of your drawing. So let's have a little look. So here we have, this is called paper. Everything begins with P this evening. This is called paper, just standard photocopy paper, nothing special. Because we can get those beautiful books, bound books, and we like to keep those a bit slightly more precious, shall we say. I know I do myself, but I just use photocopy paper to rough out things and get my ideas going. So also for the video purposes, I call this my scamp, yeah? S-C-A-M-P. Running about, throwing things about, almost equals up to what I do, excuse me, with the scamp. So you can have a guess at what it is this week. It'll become fairly obvious fairly quickly, I believe. But the good thing is it gets the feel of the shapes of the object. And that's the thing. It's so easy to dive in and put it straight onto the paper. And then that's where you're making your mistakes or trial and error on your good stuff. So do it on some not so good stuff. And then by the time you've got there, you're ready to put out a decent image fairly straight away. Okay, here we go. So first thing I do, I decide the shape of the object. Now there's no detail here at all. Remember, this is the loose world. It's not Wayne's world, it's Andy, and really it's all of us loose world now, because as I say, on the Facebook site and other bits and bobs, some of the images we're turning out nowadays, guys, are absolutely fantastic, really are. And the thing is, always remember, it's fun, it's enjoyable. Whatever you place down, it's a piece of art. It's a moment of your time captured. So whatever you feel about it, put it out there, because they're a very kind and helpful group of loosists, and we really will help each other, and just little tidbits will really help. So anyway, back to the job. Here's the overall shape of the top of the object. I'm really going to split that into two, top bit, bottom bit. Then I'm going to throw some of these shapes on. Yeah, very random. And the great thing is, initially on your rough piece of paper, you can get the feel of the shapes without fear of murking or mucking anything up or getting it wrong. You're just getting the overall shapes of things. So what I'm doing, let's cut to the chase. I'm doing a pot plant, maybe a Christmassy pot plant, but really it's a combination of two things. We've got the flower head that is made up of little jaggedy bits like this. Yeah, that's face on, looking straight down on it. But also, if we're doing that at an angle, the width's going to be the same, but the depth's going to be a lot less. So jaggedy bit, jaggedy bit, jaggedy bit, and jaggedy bit. So now it's tilted on an angle. But practice doing that. Do it 10 times. It won't take you long at all. That's one shape. And then the second shape really is a bit more like this. Really, it's a diamond shape, but with a little bit of a curve on it. A little bit like Miss Rigger. Diamond with a curl. So just practice throwing on these shapes just on a rough piece of paper. Yeah, very simple. Hi there, Janet. Hey, how are you doing? Great you could join us. Now, how's the knee? I've been thinking about your knee, if I may, most of the week. So I hope you're doing well, and I hope your procedure went well, and that you're feeling okay in yourself. And it's great to join you. Thank you for popping along. So I'll just return back to the overall shape. Here's the overall box shape, split into two. My little diamondy shapes for the florally bit. But always remember where these actually fall within the image. So the top of the image, they're going to be flatter. The side of the image, they might be a little bit more face on. That's good. So the knee's feeling decent, but it's going to take a little bit of time, I'm sure. So hopefully we can help distract you for a few minutes this evening, Janet. Distract you in a good way, hopefully, with looseness. The greatest thing since tightness, maybe. So anyway, leaves, and feel the actual fall of the object. This direction of the object is very important. We've got a few little stems there, just lines going up. And then we've got a little holder. I don't know what they're called. Ah, yes, a plant pot. That's what it is. So there are all my little basic shapes for what I need. Yeah. Thank you, Janet. That's beautiful of you to say. Right, okay, so there we go. Best things to draw with are pencils. Knit Chick 100, they really are. I've never drawn with anything else. So there's really my object. Then I need to decide where the light's coming from. And it's going to come from my top left. So everything this area is going to be light, darker, and very dark. Same with the plant pot, light, medium, dark. Yeah? You can almost colour it in just to give you a little bit of an idea of that, that lightness. So there we go. And you win the quiz this week, Janet. You're on a roll. It will be a poinsettia, a Christmassy poinsettia. Hi there, Susan from France as well. Just before I take a little bit of slurp out of my Little Christmas mug. It gets more Christmassy, more Christmassy as the weeks go by. So there's my scamp. I'll just put that to one side. In fact, I'll try and keep it a little bit on screen for you. So if you do follow along, you can have a little look as well. I'll tilt it in there. In fact, I know what I've got. I've got a little gizmo that actually allows my camera to go out. Look at that. I've got all the stuff nowadays. Blimey. The only thing I've not got is common sense. Don't really need that. Okay, so drawing. Very loose, broken line, overall shape to start with. Break it into two, so the flowers are really at the extremity. We don't get flowers within the foliage, they're always fighting the way to the top. Quite an interesting phenomenon, that actually. I don't know how that happens. Then we've got a little suggestion of lines down for the pot, or the stems. So we've got the pot itself, drag down, line across. Yeah, keep it simple, keep it broken, keep it quick. All of the things we need. There's the repetition of the scamp. Now, I'm not looking at the scamp and copying it in its entirety. I'm just looking at it for a little bit of guidance. So I don't look at the scamp too long. It's a bit like a lady. I don't look at them too long. Very enjoyable, but I don't look at them too long. Yeah, but it's a little treat. Maybe a good analogy, or maybe not such a good analogy nowadays, but anyway, there we go. So these are going to be my flowery bits. Then we've got rough leaf shapes. And again, I can ignore these at will, and I will ignore these at will. But they're just giving me options. That's really what the drawing in this style is. Loose options. Shadow is going to be cast this side, so to the opposite side of the light, so to the right hand side. Maybe just shape the plant pot a little, just give it a bit more interest. You could maybe put a bow on there. Should we do that? We'll see. I might add that. I'll put a suggestion of one, and then we'll decide if we add that or not. But again, I don't rub any lines out. I like the actual structure of everything that's going on. So there's the drawing done. Always quick and easy, 3-4 minutes, something like that, not much more. As soon as you finish the drawing, a quick slurp of tea, coffee, light refreshment. Funny enough, it's quite an interesting thing. You would think with a loose painting, or a loose approach to painting, that having a drink, like a wine, maybe one or two, or maybe a small bottle or a couple of crates, would really help. But actually, it doesn't. I've tried it. You feel great and you think, yeah, I'm on a roll here. But funny enough, what it does, it loosens your grip on the situation, as wine tends to do. But it doesn't actually get you any looser. But I'll keep trying that method, and I will come up with a theory one day. But anyway, there we go, guys. So let's just get everything in shot. Just move my little thingamajig there. There we go. All ready to rumble. Perfect. Everything's perfect. So got it all ready to go. Let's get some water on to start with. So we're going to start off with Dangerous Dave. There he is. What a fella. What a hairdo. I don't know how he keeps it so pristine. And he's married to somebody called Christine. So pristine Christine, absolutely perfect. So a little bit of water on the areas for the florally bits, the flowers. Now it's random. I'm not just filling the shapes in, it's random. This is the thing. It's interesting that the hardest thing in life is to let go, not care. And really, ultimately, that's what I'm asking you to do. So it's easy to care and to be bothered, but not to be bothered, right, quite a tricky one. Right, I'm going to start off with Cad Orange. And the great thing about the dangerous man himself is his natural shape. Well, almost you would think his natural shape leads itself to the shape of these leaves, petals rather. But really, I'm using it on its side and scraping it along. I'm not placing it down and doing it in that fashion. Only take it to about there because light is going to make this tone dimmer. So really, that's my effect of light on a red flower. So it bleaches it. And I'm going to start adding little bits. And again, every stroke is suggested of the shape of the poinsettia leaf. But I'm not counting 4 each time. Some overlap, so there's a bulk area in places and various things like that happen. So got all that on the far end of not the street, but the poinsettia. I'm going to throw a little bit of alizarin crimson on. A few little vagary bits this side. There's my little haircut of poinsettia. Very, very simple. Yeah. So now I've got a little bit of TT, a little bit of torn tissue, and I'm going to scrunch that up into a bit of a shape, and I can pick bits off. So rather than retain white areas all the time, it's good to throw it on and pick it off. Yeah, so there it is. So it's no trick of my new camera. It's just called absorbing. Yeah. I think zorbing is when you sit in a plastic bubble and roll down a hill. I quite often do that to go to the shops. Unfortunately, on the way back, my shopping is all over the place. Absolutely amazing. Sorry, Dan, I'll just read your question there. If we don't have the colours you use, could you give us a similar in different brands? To be honest, Janet, all you need to do is use an orange, a red and a dark red, whatever the colour. If you've got one that marries up closely or relatively closely to the actual object, that's always quite useful, but the brand really doesn't matter. Some of the brands are very rich in pigment, like Daniel Smith's is particularly rich, unlike myself, but you don't need really fantastic pigment for this. It blends better if it's lesser quality, in a sense, i.e. there's not so much pigment in the tube. So, but to answer your question, any colours you've got doesn't really matter, because ultimately you're trying to please yourself, not me. So if you like those colours, use them. Using the ladyship, the internationally famous now Miss R.I. Igger. She's changed her name, she's gone all posh. Just scraping this, because where I picked it off, it's now a little bit drier. And now I can actually shape some bits of the object and pick out leaves negatively, just allow them to lift out. Earl Grey or Yorkshire tea. Well, to be honest, I'm a Tetley tea guy. I like Yorkshire and I like Earl Grey, but I'm a man of very mild taste. So I go for Tetley tea bags, the round ones. Okay, got the tops on. Now I'm going to do the same with the leaf area. Just water, just dragging it, and again the natural shape of Sedandra's Ladave. For I think now that we're going to have another royal wedding, there may be a New Year's honours list. Well, maybe not New Year's, but a wedding honours list, and we're hoping that Sedandra's Dave is Sedandra's Dave, and he gets a little bit of an accolade for all his work to looseness. And there we go. I hope Harry shines a light in his direction. Now I've got cad orange and a bit of sap green. Flicking this on again. generally in a downward direction. That's downwards towards the earth, yeah? Upwards is towards the sky. What's the UK's take on Prince Harry's engagement to the US actress? The Queen must be rolling. I think he's done well, the lad has. He's done very well as Prince Harry, and I think everybody's thrilled to bits for him. He's a very well. I've not met the guy, and he's not met me, so one day we may. But he's a very affable, likable guy, and I really wish him all the well in the world. And I think the thing is, they love each other, Janet. So doesn't matter what the occupation. It's they seem very, very happy. So just dragging this colour down. Now I'm going in with sap green, a bit of Parallean green. But what I'm actually doing is extending some of the potential leaves of the poinsettia by dragging them down a bit. I've left a chunk of white there with no explanation. Will I be dressing up as will I be dressing up as Father Christmas? Absolutely, Glenn. I hope you will be as well. We could do it either side of the pond. He's what does he wear? Is it? I can't understand the dress sense. I can't find trousers like that anywhere. Big red trousers. Who's got trousers like that? Besides Father C. Got that on. Now an interesting one. I'm going to throw on cerulean blue because I want to vary the colour a little bit. I don't just want to go for green all the time. The one thing you need to be wary of is replicating the colour too obviously in the actual colours and tones of the object. So this is my take on a light shadow colour. So I've got that on. Well, just a little go back on the Prince Harry question and marrying an actress. We had another king who married, well, actually abdicated from the throne, and he was, I believe, Edward VIII, and he married an American lady, beautiful ladies, American ladies. He married Wallis Simpson. Interestingly, where I live, they used to stay in the village an awful lot. About 100 yards from where I'm sitting, they used to reside in my tiny little village, which is crazy. And there's some old guys still in the village who remember them being here. So I wonder if Harry's going to move in as well. Okay, so there we go. I've got Miss Rigger back again. Now I'm just going to chase around some of the shapes because I've got the bulk area on. Yeah, so this is negative painting. Don't mean I do it in a sort of despondent way. It's more of a, it's always an uplifting way actually for me. But what it is, you go around the object and you don't paint the object because really it's already been painted with that initial wave of tone. That's why it's better to throw everything on and then go in with the ladyship and just pick out the little bits of detail. So now I'm getting quite boisterous with the colour and the tone, just throwing it on. Also, I can take some up into the foliage itself, so let's get my wording right, up into the flowers themselves, because they will peek through there quite nicely. Again, because this is thick really in leaves, so then we have to make a sort of quite a stern decision. Where do I want bits to go? It's only at this point I start to decide. If I decided right at the beginning, and I've just got that loose drawing on, or even before the loose drawing, because the painting starts well before you ever touch the paper. You know yourself when you see something, you think, oh, I really want to paint that. But that's when the painting starts. You're thinking about it, how do I do it, what colours, all the bits and bobs that add up to make the painting. So it's well before you get to this stage that you've thought about these things. But it's useful if you can leave off a bit, back off, and then allow the painting to develop at a later stage. Because I'm a bit of a passenger on this, as well as you guys. You know, I sit here by the seat of my breeches, not terribly sure how it's going to turn out, but I just have faith in the approach now. So really all I can do is demonstrate and say, yeah, this happens every time, really. So it is a sort of tried and tested way to achieve that loose approach. And the only difference between you guys and me, I suppose, is I've just done it a little bit longer. But hopefully I can help you get there, guys, help you get there. So just putting that down. So I have a picture off to the side of the image? Not very often, in fact, very rarely, because it throws me off too much. I find it better to do the scamp. I'll have images when I first start, because that's where you learn the reference. But once you've done the scamp, once you've done the drawing, have a few little tester goes, you've got all the info there you need. But if you're looking at the detail of a photograph or an actual object all the time, it actually throws you off a little bit too much. So you notice how I'm placing down this dark now, which is cerulean green. This lifts the leaves out of nowhere. This, in essence, is just a splodge of cerulean blue, but they're knocked back leaves. If you give them a name and you believe it, that's what it is. Nobody's going to come along and say that's not what it is, because your counter argument is very simple, and this is how I like it. So you paint to please yourself, guys, number one. Then you paint to please your audience. Okay, a little bit of water on my little lady ship. Drag a little bit down. So there's water on there. You can't see it, even I can't, so it's not actually a camera issue. Drop some down. So you can either drag that way or drag that way. Don't really matter. This rigger is a dual-handed brush. She can go left and, well, right. Drag up. And now all I'm thinking is, how many stems will I need to support something like this? And I would say 7. But maybe that's just a random guess. But again, what I do, I put them down, and then I look again and see, does that look as if there's enough there? Do I need more? How do we go about this? So an interesting thing I've got there, I've got the stems on, but I'm just going to get Miss Rigger. If you may, Miss Rigger, would that be at all possible? Yes, indeed. Thank you very much. Miss Rigger. Norm, hi. Is that okay, Shirley? So Shirley's asked me if I'd say hi to Norm because he can't believe I'm alive. Norm, nor can I. I can't believe I'm alive. It's great to, well, great of you to pop along, Norm. So I've got a little bit of sap green on there, but these are really just suggestions of low leaves that are on an angle straight across. All it is, in essence, is a line. There we go. Good grief, you just sold 100 poinsettias, my word, 100 exactly. That is crazy, but that is good as well. So I hope you made good money for Christmas there, Remy. I presume that's your name. Sorry, I can't tell with your online name. There we go. So just dropping a bit of this on, guys. Got a few little lines at the bottom. All just do it nicely. Notice the sort of overall flow of the. Glenn wants to go for a beer with you, Norm. Looks like beer buddies have been created. So it's loose watercolours can bring beer buddies together. That is a fabulous. Well, you can't say more than that, guys. I'll join you. So got all that on. Dry, wet. So I've got options all the way around. Just in the centre of a few of these poinsettias. Let's have a look. We'll suggest some just here. Put a little bit of purple down. But what it does, it just brings the eye to the centre of the object. Remember, these are on an angle at the top. So the tilted ones you're going to see more of. And where it's a bit vague, doesn't really matter. Underline there, that could be hidden under that leaf. Drop them on. It just drags the eye in, not literally, because that would smart a bit. But you know what I mean. Stretching some of these out to the centres. And then you've got those little veins on poinsettias. I'm flicking some across, finding the centre and going the opposite way. Hi there, Gabrielle. Welcome along. Welcome along. Ah, Eunice. Sorry. Thank you. There we go. Just dragging these around. Now I'm doing a similar little suggestion here, just with a bit of red. So negative painting again. The bit I want to retain is that bit there. The rest doesn't matter. Well, it does. Don't let the leaf or the plant here say that, but that's the bit I want to make jump out. I'll do another one, say just here. So you just drag the colour around, get the colour off, drag water around, it bleeds back. And there we've got two little leaves jumping out. Yeah, nice and delicate, all thrown on. So got that on. I think let's do a quick plant pot. Let's have a go for a. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll do a bow. Yeah, Christmas bow. Very, very weak cerulean blue. I'm putting that on. I'll just let it dry a little bit, and then I'll chase the actual shape around that. So there we go, Miss Rigger again. Oh, Miss Rigger, she just sat down. She was just doing a lippy, and now she's got a bit lippy because she can't do a lippy. There we go. Even this is negative painting again. King of negativity, they call me. But this picks out some of the shapes within this shape. Sometimes I get lost for words. Not very often. There we go. You'll see some of these stems chasing through the foliage a little. Just be brave, plonk them down. Yeah, and then just racing up, and your eye just follows along that route. So we're got all this on, guys. This is drying. I don't know what that was supposed to prove, but obviously the longer you leave it, the drier it's going to get. I don't want it dead dry, but now I just want to put on. I just want to put on my dancing shoes. But unfortunately, I never bought any, so I don't think that's going to happen. Dangerous Dave, chasing round the bow. There we've got yes, you heard me correctly, Christine. I advise in any workshop that I do, you bring a crate of wine or a couple. I'll help you unload them and just drink them. Just drink them. That will get you loose. It's tried and tested method. Like I say earlier, really just the caveat with that is you may not be fully in control of your painting, but quite honest, if you had 2 crates of wine, you ain't gonna care one hoot, really. So this is just a little bit of mauve, a little bit of purple. These little dots are just suggestions of seeing the pot through the back. A little bit of tissue. Pick a little bit off. Put a bit back on. But you get the colour on, then lift it off. Don't fiddle about with it and try and build it up. You can build up in a detailed approach to painting, but in a loose approach, you don't want to be doing that. It takes too long. You lose all the benefits of the flow. Sorry, quick question there was what paper? Paper's £140 knot paper. It's cold pressed, so it's a little bit of texture to it. It's unstretched. This is dead flat on the table. This is not on the easel. So if I'll just test that, so let me show you. I don't know if you have it where you are, guys, but there's a battery. I just found that. This is just a little test. Gravity, yeah, gravity. That's the best indicator of finding out where the floor is. Drop something, everything goes to the floor. It's crazy. I don't know how that happens. So I've got all this on, guys. Then, no, I know what I've not done. So I'll pick that bit off because I've not given a little bit of what is not Andy. Somebody called Steve is not Andy. Somebody called Janet is not Andy. Is that what you mean? What is not Andy? There's smooth. Let me just go through it. There's smooth paper, there's knot paper, and there's rough. Knot paper is the central one that's just got a little bit of texture. It's generally called cold pressed or knot paper. I think that's right, but I always get that bit wrong. No, not paper, not paper. But do check that one for yourself. I have to read it up every time. The thing is, I tend to paint the same way every time. I never question what it is. So do double check that. But it's a simple thing of the grading of the actual texture of the paper, and then the thickness is in pounds or grams. So that will tell you the actual thickness of the paper. So those are the 2 things that just give you that simple indication of what it is. Not hot pressed. Got it. That's what I mean. Thank you, Susan. You are a star. Or what, something like that. You work it out, guys. You tell me. I'll put it into my repertoire. Right, got that on, guys. So now the actual bow is just a very nice light white area. Going to use Miss Rigger. A little bit more detail. So round the actual knot for a start. I don't mean knot paper. I think we've finished that one. Dragging down. Think about where the light is again. We've got bottom of the loops. Yeah, you just see underneath. Drag that round. So again, all this is really just shadows of the actual cloth that we're using. Then I'll use cerulean blue again as a shadow. Drag this out. Make it darker. Andy, make it darker. Okay, well, dragged out. Now just shooting across like that. Hope you can see that, guys. Oh, what's the dagger brush? Everybody shout out. Pat, everybody knows what the dagger brush is. The dagger brush is Sir Dangerous Dave. Yeah, there he is. And that's what it is. It's a dagger brush. He's pro arty. But if you're interested in one, Pat, not that that's the question you've asked, but if you are, just drop me a line and we can sort something out. But he's a great little dagger brush there. Small sword brush, that's what he is. Dangerous Dave Dagger. Excellent. DDD. Blimey. Let that dry. I'm just going to get the shadow on. I'm going to use DD, Dangerous Dave. So I'm suggesting shadow is across here. Nice rich cerulean blue tone there. A little bit this side, but predominantly to the dark side. Sorry about my approach to life, guys, but I just love it. There we go. Picking out the almost, Janet, almost the last day of YouTube. 1st of December is when my paid subscription site finishes. So they don't allow me to add any more to it at the moment, because I can't, and everything will cease and not be viewable from the 1st of December. So I'll give you an update on the website very soon, but it is a slow process, agonizing at times, but we're getting there. We're really open for next week this time. Yeah, sorry, Cynthia, the brands are Pro Arte, so they're a fairly standard, well, I say standard brand. They're a beautiful brand because they do the brushes for me now. But you can't. It's difficult to get them directly from Pro Arte. Not that I'm suggesting get them from me, but have a word with them if you like. But they'll most likely send you on to me because they don't really deal with the dagger brushes of this sort anymore. They've let me do that one. So there we've got that on. Now I'm going to put on a little bit of red. So I'm going to put a little bit of stuff on. So we're putting texture on. But the interesting thing is try and remember the actual shape of what's going on. i.e. there'll be little dips and twists and curls in here rather than just straight lines all the way across. So if you buckle it about a bit, it's actually better than doing straight lines. Just go buckly woo, buckly wee, buckly die, bickly boo. It's an old English phrase. I don't really understand the full meanings behind what it is, but just buckly woo, buckly wee, buckly thee, buckly thine. Another old English saying. Or is it just me? Just dragging this down. Yes, sorry, Janet. The Tuesdays, no, the Tuesdays, well, I've got a couple of bits on that, but the Tuesdays will remain the same. They'll be available on the website where I'm going to be having everything held, but there will still be, I believe, I'm still in the dark about this one, hopefully will still be viewable on where we are now, i.e. YouTube, and you can just follow along on there. So I'm not terribly sure of the outcome of that one. It's all a bit vague, but I will keep you informed. But next week's broadcast will need to be on a Monday. It will be the same time, around 8 o'clock, but it will be a Monday because I've got to go away for treatment. So got all that on, guys. Throwing this down, and then I can actually pick out a bit more negative shaping on the pot underneath. And always just imagine where the shadows are. That will help you out an awful lot. But you can be very crude with application of a lot of this. Just throw it on and see where it goes, where it stops. On my toes. But again, the tighter you get, the more away you get from looseness. So it's always worth bearing in mind that. You can underdo it by a mile, but if you overdo it, you can start to see where you're doing a little bit too much. So that's all going on. Not too far off the finish now, guys. Right, what else have we got? Oh, I know. I like my little splatters a little bit, so I'm going to pull a few bits on here, just at the top. Give it that Christmas red snow. Red snow at night, quite a fright. A little bit on my greens, floating around. A little bit of blue on the blue side. Yeah, there we go. Now, there we go. Dropped all that on, just floating about. And I think, guys, we're not too far off. Do I ever use quash? What's quash, Janet? Just clarify that a little bit for me. I know, have it in a drink. Orange squash. No, but I think that's squash. Anyway, I diversify. So there we go, guys. There is my maybe it is gouache. Yes. No, I don't. Totally up to you guys if you do use. I pronounce it gouache or gouache. I don't use it purely because it's a thick, opaque pigment and it's pasting it on after the fact. I try to allow the paper to allow the whites to show through. So if I was using gouache on this, you'd go in and maybe paint that with white gouache, that and that. The trouble is there's so much to do. And also it ruins the flow of a loose painting in a sense. By all means, if you want to use it, go back and put it on afterwards. But you just won't get that blended and flow with it. But again, personal preference. But mine, it stems the flow. If I put it down, nothing's going to join into it because it's thick and like a bit of a wall. So I don't tend to do that. So now, slightly disappointing this week. We've got Uncle Steve who can't make it due to commitments, which is terrible. I got him a cup of tea ready and a biscuit. So I'll have 2 cups of tea and a biscuit. So if there's a song that you'd like, guys, in fact, we had one prepared. And well, we may do it with the guitar next week, but I shall do this one for you like a pelican, yeah, or a cappella, sorry, that's the right word. But we do have a new guy this week, just standing in for Uncle Steve, and he's a very Christmassy type guy that he's not met before, but he really is very rumbustious. And his name is Loose Moose. There he is, Loose Moose. Yeah, he's loose and he's a moose. He's absolutely perfect for what we need. So Mr. Loose Moose is appearing in Panto on a video near you soon. And he's got together with Miss Rigger and Dangerous Dave. Look at him. The shoehorn. Look at him. He is a king. He is a king. How are you doing, Mr. Loose Moose?
Not too bad, thank you. It's been a long way. I've come a long way, and I'm really disappointed that Steve can't be with us, but I hope I can fill in with my moose dance. So I hope all of you can join in with the moose dance as well, and hopefully we'll see Uncle Steve next week. and I'll just do a little bit here and now. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much. Now, Mr. Andrew was going to attempt to do a John Denver's number called Annie's Song, and it's about Annie, and it's a song. So they're the two things that we like to do. Very good, Loose Moose. You are a star. You are a star. So let's try. Ooh, wrong way. There we go. Absolutely perfect. So, guys, if you'd like to join in with this one, there is a moose loose about the hoose. Absolutely. Just gets dafter, guys. This just gets dafter. So, Annie's Song. Let's all do it together. Yeehaw, yeehaw. Let's see what I can do, Loose. Are you ready? Yeah. Surely am, surely am, surely am. Get on screen then. Good lad. Do your job. Okay. You fill up my senses like a night in a forest, like the mountains in springtime, like a walk in the rain, like a storm in the desert, like a sleepy blue ocean. Fill up my senses, come fill me again. Come, let me love you, let me give my life to you. Let me drown in your laughter, let me die in your arms, let me lay down beside you, let me always be with you. Come, let me love you, come love me again. La 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 la. La 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 la, like a dawn in the desert, like a sleepy blue ocean. Come let me love you, come love me again. There you go, guys. A little bit of tune with Mr. Loose Moose and the gang. Fabulous. And I hope you're hope you're back with us again soon, Steve. So, hope you enjoyed that, guys. There is there's the loose painting. There's the poinsettia of the Christmas season. So let's put that one down as our challenge of the week. So I'll put this one up and we'll put a link back to the video so you can have a go at that one, guys. Give it a good go. Really enjoy the process. Can't emphasize that enough. That's what it's all about. So just a little bit of a roundup. The hopefully website next week really will be, but I want to make that a good place to be for everyone. So really thank you for your input on the little poll we did. That's really been very, very useful. And any ideas, just drop me a line. I'm all ears. I'm all ears. I'm like an elephant. I've got massive ears. I will listen because I want this to be good. So that should be up next week. So if you've not already, put your name on the little email thing. So that will just pre-warn you as when it's going to come on. Click on it. It'll take you straight there. So hopefully you'll find that enjoyable. What else have we got? We've got, yeah, the Loose Gang. People are asking. And if you want those, I've got the email underneath. So you can get your own set of the Loose Gang. I don't overly push them because I just want people to get them when they really want them. So I'm not pushing people onto buying those by any stretch of the imagination, but I do use them all the time and they do work for me. What else have we got? So I've still got my Patreon site where I'm able to put videos on and stills, so that really works well for me, and I will continue to keep that going.
even when the new website's up, because I will diversify on there and have sort of 2 separate types of thing running, because I do a lot of stuff and it's nice to have a bit of balancing act. I do enjoy that. Also, Wales, I did mention last week we've got a couple of places left, but unfortunately both holidays in Wales are fully booked up now. I do still have, though, if you're interested in having a little look again underneath, a little way to jump across is at Watermill. I'm going for a week from June the 23rd to, I believe it's the 30th, for a week in a beautiful place in Tuscany. So that'll be a fabulous holiday over there. Really looking forward to that one. So have a look at that. And if it's for you, get in touch with the guys and have a chat and see what it's all about. So I think that's everything this week, guys. I really, as ever, I really do appreciate your support on the Facebook site as well. That's a really good place to be. Remember, just help everyone out, be lovely to each other. That's what it's all about. It's about spreading the love of loose watercolours. Yeah, and you know, now you've had a go at this. When it works, it just is a great feeling. You can't believe it's happened so simply and so easily. So encourage people to pop along. Even if they've never painted before, it's worth getting them into it, because it's a great all-consuming passion, and that's just minimum level. So anyway, enough of me rattling on. I just wish you have a great week, guys. Have a fabulous painting week. Post your images. Let's get them on there and let's get it rolling, and have a great Christmas build-up. I'll put some other little images on to have a go at as well, and a few other bits and bobs. So keep it going, guys. I really do appreciate your support. Take care, and I shall see you again very, very soon. Last thing, it will be on a Monday next week. So it won't be Tuesday. It will be on Monday evening at 8 o'clock. So thanks again. Take care. Be kind to yourselves and kind to everyone else as well. Goodbye.